Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye. Namaskar and welcome back to Aryabhatiyam Samskrita YouTube channel. We are studying the Ruchira Tritiya Bhaga CBSE class 8 Sanskrit textbook. In that the Chaturtashaha Patha, the lesson number 14, which is Aryabhatah. We now look at an English explanation of the lesson. So there is an introductory paragraph which is given in Hindi, which I will read the translation for you. An invaluable treasure of our country, Bharatavarsha, which is India, is the long tradition of our knowledge, science and wisdom. Jnana Vignan ki Sudirgha Parampara is what they say. This tradition was nurtured by highly intelligent great people. Foremost among these intellectuals was Aryabhata, the originator of the decimal system and other such. He gave a new direction to mathematics. He and his proposed new theories had to face opposition from his traditional contemporaries. Actually, he was the first person who made mathematics as a science and the person who calculated the paths of celestial bodies using mathematical principles. This current lesson contains an account of this scholarliness of Acharya Aryabhata. We now go into the lesson. Purva Dishayam Udeti Suryaha. The sun rises in the east. Paschima Dishayancha Astangachati and sets in the west. Iti Drishyate hi loke. This is what is seen in this world. Param, however, na anena avabodhyam aste. However, by this it is not evident yat suryaha gatishilaha iti. Yet suryo gatishila iti. That the sun is moving. It's not really evident that the sun is moving. Why? Because we'll see now. Suryaha achalaha prithvi cha chala ya swakiye akshe ghurnati iti sampratam sustapitah siddhantaha. Sustapita siddhanta means it is a well established theory currently. What is that? Suryaha achalaha, the sun is stationary. Prithvi cha chala, and the earth is revolving. Ya swakiye akshe, around its orbit. Ghurnati, it revolves around its orbit, around the sun. Iti sampratam, nowadays, is what we know. Sustapita siddhanta is a well established theory currently. Siddhantaha ayam prathamyena yena pravartitaha. This theory, which was propounded first by who? Who was the first person who propounded the theory? Saha asit mahan ganitagnyah jyotirvit cha Aryabhataha. He was the great mathematician and astronomer who is Aryabhata, about whom we are studying now. Prithvi sthira vartate iti paramparaya prachalita rudhihi tena pratyajishta. The then prevalent traditional practice that the earth is stationary was refuted. Pratyadishta means was refuted by Aryabhata, by him. Tena udahratam yat, the example given by him, he gave an example. Yat gatishilayam naukayam upavishtaha manavaha, was that of a person seated on a moving boat. Naukan sthiram anubhavati, experiences the boat as stationary. Anyancha padarthan gatishilan avagachati, and sees the other objects as moving, the outside objects as moving. This is called relative motion. That's what is told in mechanics. That's what he is telling here. So a person sitting in a boat experiences himself as stationary and sees all the trees and all the objects on the land going back, on the shores going back. Evameva Gatishilayam Prithivyam Avasthitah Manavaha. In the same way, a person present on the moving earth, Prithivim Sthiram Anubhavati, experiences or knows or feels the earth as stationary. Suryadi Grahancha Gatishilan Veti, and knows and feels that the sun and the other planets are moving. So this is again relative motion as what is told. Further, Shat Saptatyadhika Chatushatatame Varshe. Shat Saptati Adhika. Shat Saptati is 76. Adhika Chatushata is 400. So it is 476. Shat Saptati Adhika Chatushatatame Varshe. In the year 476 CE, which is the common era, Krishtabdev is after Christ. Aryabhatah Janma Labdhavan iti tena eva virachite Aryabhatiyam ityasmin granthe ullikhitam. Aryabhatha was born. Where is this known? This is indicated in the work Aryabhatiyam, which is written by himself. Granthe ayam tena trayo vimshati tame vayasi virachitaha. This work Aryabhatiyam was composed by him when he was trayo vimshati. Vimshati is 20, trayo vimshati is 23. When he was 23 years old. He was a 23-year-old young man when he wrote this book. And just see how young he was when he wrote this book called Aryabhatiyam, when he had already explored all the theories of mathematics about celestial bodies and wrote this book called Aryabhatiyam by that time. And you should also attempt to write something like that when you are 23 years old. Aitihasika srotobhihi nyayate yat. By the continuous tradition of history, it gets known what? Yat patram nikasha Aryabhatasya Vedashala asit. Vedashala means the astronomical laboratory of Aryabhata was near Pataliputra. Where is Pataliputra? Pataliputra is current day Patna. That is the capital city of the state of Bihar. Anena idam anumiyate. By this it gets inferred yat tasya karmabhumihi, that his workplace Pataliputra eva asit, was indeed Pataliputra. Pataliputra, the city of Patna, has a very ancient and very rich kind of heritage, starting from the Magadha kingdom, Ashoka, and even before that the Nandas, and even maybe before the Pandavas and so on, a very, very rich heritage and culture in the state of Bihar, which has Pataliputra. Patna is the capital. Bihar is a very, very sacred land on this earth, in this whole India, is what we have seen. Next, Aryabhatasya Yogadanam Ganita Jyotisha Sambadham Vartate. Aryabhata's contributions are related to mathematics. Ganita Jyotisha Sambadham, mathematics and astronomy. Yatra Sankhyanam Akalanam Mahatvam Adadhati, where the counting of numbers, Sankhya is number, Akalanam is counting, where the counting of numbers gets importance or significance. Aryabhatah Phala Jyotisha Shastre Na Vishwasitisma. So Aryabhata did not have belief in astrology for predicting results and effects. Ganitiya Paddhatya Kritam Akalanam Adhritya Eva Tena Pratipaditam. Based on counting implemented by mathematical techniques only, based only on the counting implemented by mathematical methods or techniques, what did he do? It was propounded by him. Tena pratipaditam. It was propounded by him. What? Yat grahane rahu ketu namakau danavau nasti karanam. That eclipses are not caused by demons named Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu are not the cause for eclipses. That's what he propounded established by very sound mathematical principles and techniques. Tatra tu Surya Chandra Prithivi iti trini eva karanani. In eclipses, the only three reasons are the sun, the moon and the earth. Further, Suryam paritaha bhramantyaha prithivyaha, by the earth revolving around the sun, Chandrasya parikrama pathena samyogat grahanam bhavati, by the combination of the earth revolving around the sun and the orbit of the moon around the earth. Chandrasya parikrama patha means the orbit of the moon which is around the earth. Samyogat, by the combination of these two, grahanam bhavati, eclipse happens. Yada prithivyaha chayapatena chandrasya prakashaha avarudhyate, when by the falling of the earth's shadow, light on the moon gets obstructed or blocked. Avarudhyate means when it gets blocked. Tada chandra grahanam bhavati, then it is the lunar eclipse. Tatha eva prithvi suryayoha madhye samagatasya chandrasya chayapatena surya grahanam drishyate. Similarly, by the falling of the shadow of the moon stationed between the earth and the sun, so when the shadow of the moon falls on the earth, solar eclipse, Surya Grahanam Drishyate, the solar eclipse is seen or experienced. Samaje Nutananam Vicharanam Svikarane Prayaha Samanya Janaha Kathinyam Anubhavanti. In the society, in the acceptance of new ideas or concepts, it is possible that common people experience difficulties. Kathinyam anubhavanti. Bharatiya Jyotish Shastre tatha eva Aryabhatasya api virodhaha abhavat. In the field of Indian astronomy also, in a similar way, Aryabhata also experienced opposition. Tasya siddhantaha upekshitaha. His theories were ignored or not even considered. Saha panditam manyanam upahasa patram jata. Saha panditam manyanam upahasa patram. He was ridiculed by those scholars who thought themselves as great scholars. Punarapi, again also, tasya drishtihi gamini drishta. His far-sightedness was seen as something transcending time. His vision was seen as something which is beyond time. Adhunikaihi vaijnanikaihi tasmin tasya cha siddhante samadaraha prakatitaha. By modern scientists, however, respect and confidence is reposed in him and in his theory. Asmat eva karanat asmakam prathama upagrahasya nama Aryabhata iti kritam. For this reason only, for our very first satellite, which is India's first satellite which was launched in 1975, the name Aryabhata is given. Vastutaha Bharatiyayaha Ganita Paramparayaha Athacha Vijnana Paramparayaha Asau Ekaha Shikhara Purushaha Asit. In fact, he is the pioneer or the highest or principal person with respect to India's tradition of mathematics and tradition of science. Now, this Aryabhatiyam, which is the book which Aryabhata wrote when he was 23 years old, is available along with a Hindi translation by Chaukhamba Press in Varanasi, and we have a Kannada translation also by Professor S. Balachandra Rao, who was a professor in National College in Bangalore. And this is the Aryabhata satellite which was launched in 1975. And in around the year 76 or 77, there was a space exhibition in Lalbagh Glass House in Bangalore, which I had attended, and they had shown a small model of this Aryabhata satellite, which was a Russian space exhibition, and it was shown there. Now, before we close, a small scientific fallacy in this Sanskrit lesson, which is related to eclipses, which we have discussed in this chapter. We have the sun here, and we have the orbit of the earth around the sun, which is shown as an ellipse, which is an elliptical orbit anyway. And we have the earth, which is the blue planet here. we have the line joining the center of the sun to the center of the earth, this blue line here. And we have the orbit of the moon shown here. And we have the moon in some position shown here. Nothing is drawn to scale, it's just a representative diagram. Now, the moon revolves around the earth in about 30 days. And the earth revolves in about 365 days around the sun. So, the moon is in one position here between the earth and the sun once in 30 days, which is called Amavasya, that is the new moon day, and in one more position here, which is beyond the earth on the same straight line, once in 30 days again, which is called as the Purnima day. So what should happen? We have once in 30 days the moon coming between the earth and the sun, which means a solar eclipse should happen every 30 days, every new moon day on Amavasya day, and also the shadow of the earth should fall on the moon once in 30 days. A lunar eclipse should happen every 30 days, every full moon day, Purnima day or Hunnime. Question for you: why does it not happen like that? Why don't we have eclipses, 2 eclipses every month? According to this figure, we should have 2 eclipses every month. What is the fallacy here? What is wrong in this diagram? I want you to find out from your parents, from your science teachers, and let me know in the comments. This is a small scientific thought process which is connected with eclipses, which we saw in this chapter. Well, this brings me to the end of this chapter. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. See you in the next video in the same playlist. YouTube Aryabhati Samskrita. Shubham Bhuyat. Mangalamastu. Vande Mataram. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.